first book is Dear Joelle, or
I need to talk.
I'm looking down at my notes. Like this. That looks huge. This is my brother's. What's that percentage? I just got a text message. He's going. Okay. This one. I rated it the first 4.4. I rated this. Why? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am bringing you guys my September wrap up. Now for the month of September, I was planning on reading I think around 22 to 23 books, but an unexpected thing happened. I got a second job, and this time it's full-time. So I have two jobs right now, one full-time and one part-time, and I'm doing them both. So it's like I'm working for more than 12 hours a day, and I need to sleep, but I also need to read books. So for the month of September, my total books are, I think 12, hold on, 9, plus some books that I don't have right now. So I read a total of 12 books for the month of September, which is basically half of what I was planning on reading. So all of those books, well, some of those books plus a few more, I will be planning on reading the next month. And hopefully, since things have settled down a little bit and a lot of the things that I needed for that work I've already done, so hopefully I will be able to read more this October. Hopefully. And it's fall right now, so it's like really gloomy. I have another light on aside from this one, so yeah. And I'm sick, so a lot of things are happening. Alright, let's start. So the first book that I read is actually, I finished the last day of August, but I've already done my August wrap up at that point. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be really short. That's really long. That's why I thought, you know, I'll finish it technically in September. But yeah, the first book is Dear Joelle, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I really love this book. I'm planning on actually buying one, and my sister also read it. It's like 15 pages long, is it? Or 90? 80 pages long, but it's like really small. It's like this big. So you can definitely read it in one sitting in under 30 minutes. So I really enjoyed that book. I loved it. I wish I read it earlier. I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, my first nonfiction book of the month. Actually, the first few days of September, my first few books are actually all nonfiction, so yay for me. The next book that I read is another feminist book, which is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. This one I rated 2 stars because I didn't really like it. Definitely Virginia Woolf put up a lot of suggestions and things that are a little bit timely at the same time. Some that are around her time were really important points for feminists to bring up. But the thing is, she spent the first half of the book rambling and just thinking about what to write on her topic on fiction, women in fiction. And it's like she's going through places, thinking about what to write, seeing all these situations and things, and she's just like, it's 45 pages long, and the meat of her whole like manifesto or, you know, essay is summarized and given in the last 5 pages. So like it's 115 pages long. The first 45 to 50 pages are just her rambling, and the rest are just her just definitely getting into the point of the whole essay. But the meat really of what she was trying to say was in the last 5 pages. I mean, I knew going in it would be hard for me to read because it's a different style of writing from the modern ones. So I knew it was going to be a little bit harder for me to get into. But, my sister didn't even finish it. She didn't like it at all. It was very different from Chimamanda's book. And just, if the whole 45 pages of her rambling and just all of that was gone, it would have been a nice book. It would have been a good one. It wouldn't have bored me to death. It wouldn't have bored me to death as much as it did. The next book that I read is also a nonfiction book, which is The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. I rated it 4 stars. This one I definitely enjoyed reading, but I wouldn't say that I learned a lot from this book, and that's not saying a bad thing, because although I do know a lot of the already I know the things that he's saying and I understand it and I agree with all of the things that he's saying. It's just that, like Princess Mia said, the concept is grasped, but the execution is a little elusive. So, yeah, for me, I already know everything that he's saying, pretty much. It's just that I find it hard to really apply it for myself. There's a lot of... I still give an F, but at the same time, I don't want to give an F, and I sort of apply that a little bit, but I'm still someone who is really full of anxiety, and I'm a perfectionist, so not giving an F is kind of really opposite of who I am. But yeah, I definitely need to go online and find analyses and summaries and quotes from this book and just put it up somewhere I can see so I will remember it, because that's the thing about me. I know about all the things that he said in this book and they're really good points and I agree with all of them. I just need to apply them. I just need to remember to do them. So yeah, 4 stars. The next book that I read is so hyped up in BookTube right now, and I agree with hype. And that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this book, I really enjoyed it. If you didn't know what this is about, where have you been? Welcome. I will introduce you to this book. This is about the actress, Evelyn Hugo, a fictional actress. She's kind of like Elizabeth Taylor / Marilyn Monroe of her time, and this is her telling her story to a journalist who hasn't really gotten a lot of, she's not very well known, she's new, she's up and coming in a way, and Evelyn Hugo contacted her and the company that she's working with, and she said that she wanted to work with her only for, at the beginning it was just the thing is, she said that it was for a feature or something, but when the journalist meets Evelyn Hugo says, I want you to write my biography. So it's an authorized biography of me. So I will tell you my whole story. I'll tell you all about my 7 husbands, the controversial 7 husbands, who her true love is, and everything else that happened in between. And yeah, it's I love it. The hype is real. I really enjoy the writing. It really sucks you in at the beginning. It feels like you're really part of the story, and it feels like it's so real. Like it's actually, Evelyn is an actual actress in our current time right now. So it feels like that, but it's not. So yeah, I really, really like this. I rated this at 4.5 stars. I enjoy this book a lot. The writing is so beautiful and captivating. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. If you're hesitating to pick it up, just try it out. Borrow it from your library, read it for some pages, and if you don't like it, which I doubt that you wouldn't, you can give it back. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. Highly recommend. Definitely one of my most favorite reads, I think, so far for the year. And that's saying a lot because I read a lot this year. 75 books. 75? 78. Around that. Yeah. But yeah. The next book that I read is also a book that I've been wanting to read for so long, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. And I bought the book after this, Emperor of Storms. I have it right now. I didn't read that this month, by the way. I was planning on reading it too, but I read this because I thought that was the next book that I needed to read because I had the rest of the books back in the Philippines, but yeah. Anyway, I love this book so much. I mean, it's Throne of Glass book, Sarah J. Maas. I love, and it's humongous. It's huge, so it really did take a bit of time for me to read. But at the same time, it's like I really love this book. I waited years for this to finish, and now Kingdom of Ash is coming out next month, or is it this month? I think it's this month. Yeah, it's coming out soon. I need to read Emperor of Storms and then Tower Dawn so that I can read Kingdom of Ash. I actually am planning on borrowing that one, but I'm like hundreds in line. I'm probably just gonna buy the book anyway. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I rated this like 5 stars, of course. I love Aileen and Rowan. I also love Manon, Aileen's cousin. Kale just yeah, I love this book. I don't want to say anything spoilery, but read the series. You will love it too. The next books that I read are The Illuminate Files by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I have been wanting to read this book for a while because it has been going around YouTube for years and a lot of people love it. And it's not written in a traditional manner. It's not presented in a traditional manner as well. It's written in emails, chat logs, reports, surveillance footages, and just it's not written in a typical manner of storytelling and novel writing. But I really enjoy this. I really love sci-fi, but the thing about sci-fi is that sometimes it gets way over in my head. Like the scientific part just becomes too much for me, and yeah. But this one, although I struggled a little bit, I still really enjoyed this. I love it so much. These books are huge, and I'm also planning on buying these 3 in paperback because I can't with hardbacks. But yeah, I really enjoyed these books. I rated the first book 4.5. So amazing. The first book is Illuminate, 4.5. The second book is Gemini, also 4.5. I enjoyed it so much. And a lot more like scientific stuff happens here, just saying. And I'm down for it. I love it so much. Yeah. And the last book of Zidio, 5 stars. It's shorter than the second book, but this is where everything kind of just, it's like a full ending in 500 pages, 600 pages. And I love it. I love it. The conclusion is just, there's twists that, well, we already know. I mean, I guess I already knew in the beginning. It wasn't really hard to guess, but like, and how it went down still was like, so yeah, I highly recommend that trilogy as well. The next 2 books that I read are the last 2 books of the Conqueror Saga, which is Now I Rise and Bright Will Burn by Kirsten White. And the first book I rated, technically the second book, I don't have a rating because I was out of it. This one, Now I Rise. I was out of it while I was reading it. And I think or it was around this time that everything just got really busy. So it's kind of like, you know. And so it's the type of writing that you really need to give your full attention to. So it was around the time that things got really busy for me, and I just, yeah. I don't know how to rate it, but I still really enjoyed this book. Lada, what's her brother's name? Radu and Mehmed, their story it's just a really brutal story. Because this is about Vlad Impaler, a retelling of Vlad Impaler as a female, as a young girl. So it's like a little bit more, you know. But I really still enjoyed this book. I'm still thinking about what to rate it, but definitely in the 4 stars realm. I really enjoyed this book. I remember not really liking Kristen White's writing before, but for this one, I tried it out again, and I enjoyed it. And then Bright Will Burn, I rated a 4.75 stars. See, I really like this series, so I highly recommend this if you're into retellings of stories, typical stories, whether or you're interested in Vlad the Impaler and is interested in young, strong female characters that are not exactly very likable. You'll like this book, but even then, just try it out. I really enjoyed this book. And the last book that I read, I actually read yesterday. I finished yesterday, which is Finnegan of the Rock by Melina Marchetta. I enjoyed this book a lot, but definitely Melina Marchetta's confusing way of writing and introduction to the world is very much evident. I read her book Jellicoe Road 2 months ago, and I was really confused with everything that's happening because it's like the readers were put in the middle of something stuff happening, and it's just we're not getting introduced to the story. We're not getting introduced to the background very much. It's like if it's expected of us to understand what's happening already. It's like just, but it's a whole different world, especially with fantasy. And the premise of this is that the people's country here, the protagonist's country, has been given a curse years ago, and basically there are people who tried to leave the country before the curse went down, because how the curse went to be was the king and his family were slayed, and everything went into chaos. They killed someone who they think was practicing dark magic, and they killed that person. That person put a curse in the country, and we don't know what the curse is. It's like Melina Marchetta was trying to give us a mysterious vibe of what's happened, what's happening. We don't get morsels of it. It's like we're expected to know about it already, or like get hints of it already, but we're not given anything. So it just made a lot of the things confusing. A lot of the things that's been happening confusing. But definitely after that, and we got a little bit more of the story, the background story of the curse. Even now that I finished the book, I'm still not sure what really happened. But I enjoyed the book a lot. The characters are very relatable and likable, and you like the characters. I like the characters, so that's really what made it for me. Like the bond, the kind of kinship that they have, that's really what made it like good for me. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely I will be continuing on to the next 2 books. I'm currently reading the next one, which is 4 of the Exiles, and I'm excited to read that one because I guess it's Rory, and if you read the book, he's an interesting character. He's not exactly likable in the beginning, especially, but yeah. So those are all the books that I read for this month. It's a sad wrap up because I didn't really read a lot of books. I mean, I guess it's still a good chunk of books. I'm still ahead of my new reading goal, which is 90. I've read 78, I think. I'm like 9 books ahead, or 8, I think. But still, it's like, it's not how I usually read books because of everything that's been happening. I will slow down because I am doing 2 jobs, but yeah, I will try to read more next month. This month, I mean, and I think I would be able to do that because things have started to settle down. But yeah, we'll see. But in any case, that is it for my September TBR. Tell me what you guys thought of the books that I read, if you read them, and if you agree with the things that I said. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.